Hello everyone and welcome to the goalkeeper edition of my summer series. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at each position that West Ham may buy a player for in the summer transfer window, and I'm going to give you like my short list, if you like, 3 or 4 players per position, have a little discussion about them and give you my chosen one at the end of the video. So we're going to do one video per position as well going forward. This is obviously the goalkeeping edition, and I want you guys to get involved in the comments below. Not necessarily discussing the players I've picked out, but who you would like to see come in for West Ham in that area of the park, because you're going to have names I've never heard of. I want to hear them. I want to hear why you picked that person, how much you think this cost, all that. Now, a bit of a warning, it is a little bit of fun. It's nothing too serious. It's a bit FIFA-y and Football Manager-y, and when I see people coming up with these lists on social media, even I'm a bit like, it's never going to happen, is it? But most people are aware it's never going to happen. It's just a bit of fun, designed to trigger a little bit of discussion. Now, obviously, this is a goalkeeper edition. We're expected to sign Areola. So, hypothetically, for the sake of the video, let's assume we won't. Who would you like to see come in at West Ham as the goalkeeper next season? Get involved in the comments. Now, while you're doing that, I'm going to give you my I've got 4 names. I'm going to give you my 4 goalkeeper names on my short list, and at the end tell you which one in an ideal world would bring to West Ham. And then obviously at the end of all the videos I'll have my geo wish list, and if you get involved in every single video you'll have your own wish list as well. And in that video I'll be saying, excuse me, can I have your shopping list please, just for a little bit of fun, a little bit of discussion. That's all it is, nothing too serious. Did I mention it's nothing too serious? Good, just want to make that clear. Now let's go on with the video, shall we? First up on the shortlist is Nick Pope of Burnley, who have labelled up as safe but expensive. Safe because he's up there with the best shot stoppers in the Premier League, possibly the best one. You can make your argument. If I ask you right now who's the best shot stopper in the Premier League last season, some people will pick Nick Pope. And it's no surprise, he's done it for years now. Just cast your mind back a couple of months ago at the London Stadium. World class saves on display from Nick Pope. I'd argue that coming for the ball and catching it from crosses, he is the best in the league, and we've seen that for years at Burnley as well. But his distribution is lacking. His distribution is one of the worst among the goalkeepers in the Premier League. But it wasn't needed at Burnley. Sean Dyche wasn't requiring Nick Pope to do those neat little triangles that we see at other clubs between the centre-backs and the goalkeepers. He didn't need to do it. However, I feel that's what's prevented him being England's #1. Pickford is better with the ball at his feet, possibly more error-prone than Nick Pope, but when you play for England, you're going to need to take the ball from the centre-backs and play out from the back a little bit more. Possibly why Aaron Ramsdale, in my opinion, is second choice goalkeeper for England ahead of Nick Pope already. Pope's done it for years, but that distribution is what's been a bit lacking. However, that wouldn't be an issue at West Ham. We've seen Fabianski, he's not the best at distribution either, but David Moyes doesn't mind it. David Moyes is okay with it, because if he does everything else correctly, he can oversee the distribution part of it. There is questions, of course, is if David Moyes even wants his centre-backs to play the ball back to his goalkeeper and receive it from the goalkeeper as well. It's not something we've seen too often, so it's difficult to argue that that should be a factor as to why we shouldn't sign Nick Pope at West Ham. But one thing that is difficult to suggest why we should sign him is his price tag. The rumoured price tag is 40 million. Nick Pope's obviously expected to leave Burnley this summer after being relegated to the Championship. The likes of Southampton are strongly linked to him, but 40 million is just not good value. But at 30 years of age, he's got a lot of years left on the clock for a Premier League #1 goalkeeper. Would fit in at West Ham, would tick a lot of the boxes for David Moyes, but that price tag is a bulky one. So he's not going to be my pick on this episode, but a very, very good goalkeeper for whoever gets him from Burnley this summer. So that was Nick Pope, goalkeeper 1 of 4 on the Geo wish list. And before we get on to goalkeeper number 2, this video is sponsored by the OneFootball app, which is the best way to keep up to date with the latest transfer rumours around your club. And it doesn't matter whom you support, because there's plenty of transfer rumours at the minute, isn't there? Such as Neif Aguerd, who West Ham are expected to sign. Did you know he's been playing for Morocco in the international break? You probably do, but he's already played 1 game, he's got a couple more to go, and if you're thinking of taking in a Morocco game, you can find out what their fixtures are using the OneFootball app. Get it downloaded to your phone or your device via the link in the description. It's completely free. When you download it, it asks who you wish to follow, any competitions you wish to keep your eye on. But the app is that easy to navigate. You can then go on a little wander and see what upcoming fixtures are for the countries that involve your players. England have got a few important games coming up in the Nations League as well. The OneFootball app is the best football app for the football fan, in my opinion. Links in the description. Get it downloaded today. Next up on the list is the expensive option. No, believe it or not, Nick Pope wasn't the expensive option, because while the price tag is rumoured to be 40 million, I'd be surprised if it took 40 million to get him out of Burnley. But I think it would take at least that to get Dean Henderson out of Manchester United. Just 25 years old though. If you get Dean Henderson, you're getting a goalkeeper for the next 10 years in the Premier League. All being well, of course. But I do believe he's good enough. Went on loan at Sheffield United for a couple of seasons, and in the Premier League I thought he was fantastic. A huge part of the reason that Sheffield United stayed in the Premier League at the first time of asking. Obviously went back to Man United, wasn't allowed back out of Man United. Sheffield United then went and got Aaron Ramsdale. They got relegated with him. He's gone to Arsenal, and he's done well at Arsenal. Ramsdale didn't do as well as Dean Henderson, but has gone on to have a decent first season at Arsenal. What I'm trying to badly say is, well, that's how good Dean Henderson is. I thought he was unbelievable for Sheffield United. Obviously, since going back to Man United, he's struggled for the first team minutes. He struggled with COVID. He struggled to get out of Manchester United again in the January transfer window, trying to go to Newcastle. I think Man United were willing to let him leave, but Dubravka had to go to Man United, and he didn't want to give up his number one at Newcastle, go sit on the bench at Man United for the rest of the season. I get it. But Dean Henderson could be available this summer, and whoever gets him will be getting a top goalkeeper, I think. It will be expensive, but I think it's one of them that in a few years to come, if all goes well, it'll look quite cheap actually, because I think he's got everything. I think his distribution's good, I think his handling of the ball's good, his shot stopping's good. I think he'll be in the England squad in a couple of years' time. So while whatever the price tag is now, around about 40 million, it will be pricey. But I do think it'll be worth it. However, this is the keeper I would like to see at West Ham if we had an unlimited transfer budget. But we don't have one of them, do we? So he will not be my pick in this episode. However, I do admire him a lot, and I just wanted to mention him. So there you go, that's Dean Henderson. Alright, this selection, I admit, is a little bit of a cop-out. But it's not my fault, it's a situation in which we're dealing with. It's the ideal goalkeeper for West Ham. The ideal keeper for West Ham United to sign this summer. Drum roll, please. Dun, 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 dun. Alphonse Areola. You all seen it coming, didn't you? But 7.7 million, I mean, what a bargain it is. The reason I put him third in this video, behind Nick Pope and Dean Henderson, is to almost demonstrate just how cheap he is. The other two, you're looking at 30 million plus. You know, Areola's younger than Nick Pope in terms of ability. I think if I ran a poll among all football fans, which one of these three are the better goalkeepers, I don't think there'd be much in it. A third. Obviously, if I'd done it on this channel, Areola would win. We're West Ham fans. Similarly, if I went over to a Man United channel and ran the same poll, Henderson would win, and the same over on the Burnley channel. But there's not much between them in ability as how they are as a goalkeeper, or the suitability to West Ham, I would say. But what there is a big difference is their price tag. 7.7 million. What a bargain. Anyway, should we sign him permanently this summer, as expected? He has to be the number one goalkeeper. From the start of the season, next season, in the Premier League, he has to be our number one goalkeeper. And while long term, I'd have no complaints with Fabianski playing in the FA Cup or the League Cup, I get it. I'd like to see Areola keep the gloves for the European games as well. I would like to say, Areola, you're the Premier League goalkeeper, you're the Europa Conference League goalkeeper. Fabianski, you're the FA Cup and League Cup. Obviously form dependent, should Areola not be in great form, we can put Fabianski in goal and all that. But certainly when we start the season, Areola's the number one goalkeeper. I think he had a really good season last season. Would have liked to see more of him, but next season we have to. 7.7 million. I know I keep saying it, but it is a bargain. Even if he's not good, even if we sign Areola this summer and it doesn't work out next year, in 12 months time we could probably sell him and get the majority of the transfer fee back. Absolute bargain. However, hypothetically, if we couldn't sign Areola this summer, let me know in the comments which goalkeeper you'd like to see. Like I said, not the ones I'm talking about. People out there will know better goalkeepers than I do. But I've got one more to go. And it's a bit of a curveball actually, and I really like him. Last up is my curveball. He's 28 years old. He's got really good international experience. In terms of playing for his club, he's not played that much. In fact, in the last 4 years, he's had one Premier League appearance. Now, what I should say, in the last 4 years, he's been signed to a Premier League club as well. It's not like he's coming in January and in 6 months. No, in the last 4 seasons at his Premier League club, he's made one appearance for them as well. But it's explanatory. It's Danny Ward of Leicester City. Now, the reason he can't get in the team is because of the form and fitness Kasper Schmeichel. Now he would obviously be Leicester's long-term plan to take over from Kasper Schmeichel, so he probably wouldn't get him. But what I would say is he needs to be playing first team football. I mean, to be fair, he should have been playing first team football for a couple of seasons ago. I've seen him on loan at Aberdeen. Thought he was fantastic up here for Aberdeen. And then he went to Huddersfield on loan, played really well there. Liverpool sold him to Leicester, which I'm not going to lie, I was a bit surprised. I thought, okay, that's a really good signing for Leicester. Paid, I guess, big money, 12 million they paid for him. It's a lot for a goalkeeper to sit on your bench. I mean, we just discussed Areola for 8 million. That's to be our first choice keeper to replace Fabianski, who cost us 7 million. So Danny Ward's cost more than them. But I do think he's a terrific goalkeeper. I think he was one of the best goalkeepers at the Euros last summer for Wales. I thought he was superb for them. He's their sort of undisputed number one, and deservedly so. I think he's got everything. I think his distribution's good. I think coming across is good. I think he commands his area well. I think he's a good shot stopper. There's not many weak points to Danny Ward's game, in my opinion. He's somebody that in the last couple of years I've always hoped West Ham would go after. I've always thought that somebody, if we were to pay 12 million to take him West Ham, I would love that. I think it's a good signing. So yeah, that's my curveball. If we didn't sign Areola, Danny Ward's the one I would go for. But would expect to sign Areola. And out of all the people I've discussed in today's video, he's my choice. So Gio's wish list, if you like, Areola, 7.7 million. There we go. Now that comes to the end of this video. Now, like I said, it is a little bit FIFA and Football Manager and stuff like that, but it's just a little bit of fun. It's nothing too serious. It's never going to happen. I'm aware of it. But this is a video for the summer, just for a little bit of content while the rumours are quite low and stuff like that. And also be to get interactive with you guys as well. So please, in the comments, please do get involved. I've been trying my best in the last few weeks to get a little bit more interactive in the comments, and I'm certainly going to be doing it for this series, because there'll be people mentioning goalkeepers I've never heard of before. And I'm looking forward to it in a weird way. It almost expands my knowledge of the game a little bit, reading the comments. And there's always people throwing players at me I've never heard of, and in a year's time to get like a 20 million move somewhere. Like, hang on a minute, one of the subscribers told me about him a year ago. I recognise that name. So I'm looking forward to learning more about goalkeepers in this episode. But next week we will be doing the left backs. There's 3 left backs in the video. I might do a 4th one for the sake of it, because there's 3 left backs. You already know 2 of them that I'm going to mention, so I'm going to have to put a 4th one in there to mix it up. But hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully you understand the series. And lastly, it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Anyway, do drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you tomorrow.